Today on TimesCast, the Northeast shovels out of the blizzard.
I've been here since 7 p.m. last night.
A behind-the-scenes look at an article in Monday's Times on the rise of Pakistani women working for the first time. And a first look at Tuesday's Times. An American sport is gaining popularity in Israel.
Here at Penn Station, hundreds of people were stranded last night, unable to get home or get to their destinations. The Long Island Railroad left 2 trains with doors open and heat on tracks 18 and 19, and that is where many of the folks stranded here last night stayed.
Took my kids to see wrestling at the Garden for it was a Christmas gift. During the last match, they suspended all service, and we've been here ever since.
Amtrak trains to destinations like Harrisburg and Boston and Toronto appear to be running again. People who are trying to take the Long Island Railroad are still waiting for service to be restored. The best case scenario today for travelers would be that the switches and tracks are cleared relatively quickly and that people can get home.
In Monday's New York Times, Adam Ellick examines the rise of Pakistani women working for the first time, despite harassment and rejection by their male relatives who want them to stay at home. Huma Imtiaz worked with reporter Adam Ellick on this story as a contributing reporter.
Huma, Pakistan has one of the lowest rates in the world when it comes to women participating in the workforce. The country currently ranks lower than Saudi Arabia and Chad.
I think one of the biggest reasons that you see less participation of women, especially who are working in the urban areas, is because of the cultural reasons. I think men predominantly have had this role in Pakistan that men are supposed to be the sole providers, men are supposed to be the ones who are earning. Religion plays a huge role in why that many women don't go out and work. Wearing a Western uniform, interacting with men who are not part of their family. These are all things that are very unique and foreign to them.
Now, we went to dozens of stores and spoke to hundreds of women, and the vast majority of them were incredibly skittish and reluctant to speak to us.
A lot of these girls initially said, oh no, everything at home is fine, our parents are okay with us working. And the more you kept meeting them, you realized that they had a terrible story behind them. A lot of their extended family who didn't know about the kind of jobs that they did. This could also prevent them from getting, say, good proposals for their marriage.
Ice cream Sunday.
So there were a lot of social reasons I felt that were associated with these girls being skittish.
Many of the women that we met said their commute home is one of the most trying experiences that they have. Can you explain why something that in the West is so simple is such a dreaded experience in Pakistan?
You're standing there all alone with no security. There are all kinds of men around who are harassing you. Some of these girls are mistaken for prostitutes. Then once they get off the bus, I remember there was this one girl that we interviewed who said that she has a 15-minute walk home. She's harassed every single day by people who are on the road.
In some ways, this is a story about men as much as it is about women. What do you think will have to change in society for the men to accept what's happening?
The employers have to provide incentives for women to work. Why would a woman want to work somewhere where she doesn't get a decent salary, she doesn't get a drive, pick and drop home? Obviously, we need to bring about a change in society as well. These men who come into restaurants and harass women, these are probably the first women that, some of the only women that they've been exposed to who are outside their family. So if you introduce co-education in schools, if you allow public spaces and allow women and men to interact together, there can be some kind of change that's brought about.
And a first look at Tuesday's Times. Ben Solomon reports on an American pastime that has taken off in Israel.
On a Thursday night, the home team Jerusalem Lions are taking on the Beersheba Black Swarm. This is American football, Israeli style.
I live here in Israel. I study the Talmud. This is a tractate from Babylon. I sit and study all the time. It's a little difficult, so I come here, I play tackle football. It's very, energetic. It gives me a lot of energy to continue my week.
Formed in 2007, the Israeli Football League, or IFL, has had rapid growth in Israel. With 8 teams across the country and over 400 players in total, Israelis have begun to adopt the American sport as their own. Since the IFL is an amateur league, anyone is able to join. With most players having no football experience beforehand, teaching is a bit of a challenge.
I'm used to it because I've coached Pop Warner before. We have a lot of Americans with football experience, but most of the guys are Israeli guys that don't have any experience playing football. They basically played soccer or basketball.
Get this guy!
Now all of a sudden they're playing football.
You're done! Yeah!
In Jerusalem, after a one-sided game, the Lions beat out the Black Swarm and won 36-6.
Shabbat shalom, guys. Shabbat shalom.
Did well, a lot of tackles. It was a nice position.
Now what are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm getting ready for Shabbos.
Join us again tomorrow for TimesCast.